It's from a laboratory, not some creator. It's a bubble of gases. A cocktail of stuff for accelerated evolution.
Every good Time Lord needs some good tools. Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Doctor Who gadgets.
Who are you?
Why don't you check this out?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the niftiest little gizmos to appear on a show chock full of nifty little gizmos. Only the gadgets that prove themselves especially nifty need apply. But we shan't be including anything that is primarily used as a weapon or any sentient robot types. So sling your silicon chips, Cybermen.
Aircraft carrier Valiant. It's a unit ship at 58.2 north, 10.02 east.
Number 10, Chameleon Circuit. We could talk TARDIS right now, but the TARDIS is a vehicle, and strictly speaking, a vehicle is not a gadget, even if it is equipped with a vortex manipulator. Well, an extremely unreliable vortex manipulator.
What are you doing?
Something I should have done a long time ago. Repair the Chameleon Circuit.
So instead we chose the often overlooked Chameleon Circuit.
This is getting ridiculous.
It might surprise you to know that the Doctor's craft was supposed to be able to change shape and appearance to blend it in with its surroundings. Much like, that's right, a cuttlefish.
Oh, neat, Doctor.
However, this particular ship's circuit wasn't fixed properly. Now it's stuck in the form of the police box we all know and love. Number 9, Hallucinogenic Lipstick. The name says it all, really. You have to wonder if this one is actually used by spies, especially during the Cold War.
It's a beautiful day.
This particular gadget is one of River Song's preferred methods of defense. To use it, simply apply the lipstick as normal, kiss your intended target, and watch as they hallucinate.
Then I'm very sorry.
So far, she's successfully used it to stage multiple escapes, convince Roman soldiers that she was Cleopatra, and to obtain the pyramids from President Kennedy.
Love what you've done with the pyramids. How did you swing all this?
Hallucinogenic lipstick. Works wonders on President Kennedy, and Cleopatra was a real pushover.
There is a downside to its use though, because it's very specific to her. If it's detected, other characters can deduce her presence. Number 8, the Source. This is the Whoverse's interpretation of a terraforming device, a staple of sci-fi.
It's beautiful. What is it?
Terraforming. It's a third-generation terraforming device.
That's where the gadget in question can make an inhospitable world hospitable. What makes it so interesting, though, is that its powers are misconstrued. Fueling both sides of a long-term war, each party believes it to be capable of destroying their enemies.
This is the Source. This is what you're fighting over, a device to rejuvenate a planet's ecosystem.
Talk about getting the wrong end of the stick. We also can't not mention the progenation machine, which appears in the same episode. That's the doohickey that extracts genetic material from the Doctor and creates his daughter. Always get permission before using your progenation machine on others.
She's my daughter.
Hello, Dad.
Number 7, Treeborgs. Half tree, half cyborg, all fully functioning flora.
It's a forest. Yeah, it's a forest. It's an oxygen factory.
And if we're lucky, an escape route.
This idea would be really useful if deforestation gets really bad and results in a potentially world-ending state. The idea is simple: a part robotic, part organic tree that can function just like a normal tree, but in space.
Treeborgs! Trees plus technology.
Branches become cables, become sensors on the hull of forests. sucking in starlight, breathing out air.
As oxygen is in quite high demand in the infinite void, it would certainly stand to benefit astronauts on long missions to have a constant source of oxygen. Regular trees might be alright for your average Joe, but this is Doctor Who, and these feed off starlight, which is fortuitous given their surroundings.
A forest in a bottle on a spaceship in a maze. Have I impressed you yet, Amy Pond?
Number 6. Gadget. This is one of those cool contraptions that's believable enough you can see it's actually happening.
Who needs atom clamps? I have a funny robot!
Essentially, Gadget is a robot that, for once, looks like the kind of tech they would actually use to go exploring on other planets. No mystical works because of writing sentient AI here. This is a multi-purpose tool that serves as an avatar for its controller.
Oh, right, so you control that thing. Auto glove response.
You got it. To the right. And to the left.
It's a bit flimsy.
You can use it to communicate, and special gloves enable Gadget to mirror your own movements, which is very useful for fiddly jobs out in a giant vacuum. Not only that, but it also makes for a rather handy segue. Number 5. Forget button. Tampering with memory is nothing new in sci-fi, or regular fi for that matter. On paper, the ability to forget a traumatizing memory sounds like a good idea, but it's never that simple.
If you choose to accept the situation, and we hope that you will, then press the forget button.
When they inevitably find out what awful thing they were trying to forget, the cycle begins anew. In this instance, the button is intended for the Queen of a future Earth, to enable her to continue the suffering of a, last of its kind, star whale, to ensure the safety of her people. Even when treading familiar tropes, who will still be who?
If you wish our voyage to continue, then you must press the forget button. Be again the heart of this nation, untainted.
Number 4. 3D glasses for void stuff. Yes, they look like a pair of ordinary 3D glasses, which David Tennant totally rocks by the way, but they're useful for seeing void stuff.
Oh, I'm ready.
Void stuff, since you ask, is the residue that sticks to individuals if and when they cross over from a parallel universe through the void.
Look, I've been through it. Did you see?
Reboot in 3 minutes.
What is it?
Void stuff.
A bit like background radiation. An opening in the void violently pulls anything coated with the stuff back in. It's how the Doctor was able to thwart an army of Daleks and Cybermen. But to be honest, it's because of that Rose moment that makes this incident so memorable.
We're all contaminated, we'll get pulled in.
That's where you've got to go.
Reboot in 2 minutes.
Back to Pete's world.
Number 3. Perception filter. A sneaky device for sneaking. Not quite able to render users invisible, it does emit a telepathic effect that misdirects the senses.
Look at me, you can see me, yes?
Yep.
What about now?
That is to say, if you wear it, onlookers won't know you're there, like you are a trick of the light.
Just keep to the shadows.
Like ghosts.
Yeah, that's what we are. Ghosts.
However, it won't work on particularly intelligent people, people who aren't native to the time, or once a person becomes aware of the user's presence.
I love saying that.
Stop it now!
As if a perception filter's gonna work on me.
There is another alien version which makes its wearer appear human, functioning more like an instant disguise kit. However, it isn't without its flaws either, as it has problems producing reflections.
How are you doing that? I am loving it. You're like Houdini, only 5 slightly scary girls, and he was shorter. Will be shorter. I'm rambling.
Number 2. Psychic paper. We're sure Bond would kill for this one. At first glance, it looks like a blank piece of paper. but to the mind of the beholder, it's anything but.
I'm Sir Doctor of TARDIS, and this is my companion, Miss Martha Jones.
This handy gizmo serves as whatever piece of identification or qualification the Doctor requires at the given time. It simply shows whatever the onlooker imagines or needs to see under the circumstances, allowing the Doctor to infiltrate pretty much anywhere. It doesn't work on everyone though, for reasons.
I think you'll find I'm universally recognized as a mature and responsible adult.
It's just a lot of wavy lines.
That doesn't really matter though, because it's still a ruddy, useful bit of kit to take around the universe.
Do you mind if I take a look? It might just be the spelling. By the way, this is our reference.
Number 1. Sonic Screwdriver. Kirk has his phaser, Skywalker has his lightsaber, and the Doctor has this. It's by far the Doctor's most iconic piece of kit, especially since the reboot. The sonic screwdriver has become an invaluable staple of the show and just as iconic as the TARDIS or the Daleks.
Compensating? For what? Regeneration, it's a lottery.
Oh, he's cool. Isn't he cool? I'm the Doctor and I'm all cool.
What can it not do? Constantly brought out to fix things, disrupt things, scan things, and fend off things. It's just really useful for things.
And I name you the Boneless!
Okay, it may be a bit of a deus ex machina from time to time, but what crazy gadget isn't?
Doesn't kill, doesn't wound, doesn't maim. But I'll tell you what it does do. It is very good at opening doors.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.